There is so much going on in this industry right now. I can't even keep up. Just in, Ripple partners with MasterCard to introduce RLUSD credit card settlement on XRP Ledger. Now, that's a big headline, right? I got excited too, but we always have to counter with the but. Ripple. We're collaborating with MasterCard, WebBank, and Gemini to introduce RLUSD settlement on the XRP Ledger for fiat credit card payments, starting with the Gemini XRP credit card. This initiative sets a new benchmark for institutional efficiency, enabling faster, compliant, and more transparent settlement within traditional finance. The future of payments is here. So this all sounded swell, right? But the problem, I guess it's not a problem. They're only, yeah, like they said, it's a pilot with the Gemini card. And the Gemini card, yeah, there's a lot of us XRP guys, but it's like how many in circulation really is there the Gemini XRP card? That's like I get mixed vibes from this. I get that this is more just kind of like, look what we're doing with MasterCard, but under the hood, it's a little bit of a nothing burger, if I'm being honest, because, yeah, we're going to pilot it with this card. You're telling me MasterCard hasn't been piloting other technologies. They have partnered with a tons of different crypto companies, one of them being Chainlink, and adopting their protocol for cross-chain settlement. So I'm still looking into that because people fight back and forth that like, oh, Chainlink doesn't do what it needs to do. You still need XRP and stuff. But like, the more I'm looking at it now, that doesn't seem to be the case. My whole philosophy kind of has always been that like, which is crazy. They did a lawsuit about this whole thing that Ripple is completely separate from XRP in a sense. But I think Ripple is going to be the one to drive XRP. I think it is solely up to them because, dude, honestly, like, no, they are right. Like, all these people are right. I'm not oblivious to that. Like, when the Solana guy was saying there's no usage on it. And that's completely true, dude. You can look at the on-chain data, even compared to something like Stellar, dude, XLM. They got more, like, RWAs. Like, their numbers are much higher. And all these companies, MasterCard, Visa I've seen is in bed with Stellar a bunch of the time. Yet again, it's going to be multiple chains, but we can only hope that this is a pilot just for now, and then when they want to do a big roll, hopefully that's who they choose, you know? Maybe they choose more cards for this, but it seems a little bit like a publicity stunt. It doesn't take anything away from it, but dude, this is probably what's going to happen. This is insane. It seems like they are preparing to rip this price. So another giant announcement from Ripple Swell, from Brad. 2025, without a doubt, has been an incredible year for crypto, and a record year for crypto as a whole. Although we have had a couple of months left, this announcement feels like the cherry on top of a mountain of good news. Today, we announced a $500 million investment in Ripple from Fortress Investment Group, Citi Securities, Pantera Capital, and Galaxy HQ, and blah, blah, blah. And we were valued at $40 billion valuation. This is key. We'll come back. This investment isn't just validation of Ripple's growth strategy and business built on the foundation of XRP, but also a clear bet on what the future of crypto will look like. I'm very proud of what we built and all that's to come. Okay, there's a couple of things that have everyone in a tizzy. Everyone relax, dude. We're at 230. We had that little bit of that dead man bounce. That little bit. That's what we said we got to keep, because I looked last night, we were up to like 237. I was like, whoa, is this it? Is this Valhalla? Are we back? No, we are not back. You always got to be wary of the dead man bounce. We got Trump speaking at 11 today. He spoke yesterday. They were trying to make a big deal of it. Oh my God, he's speaking. He was at like the Miami Financial Conference or something like that. He's speaking at here. Is he going to announce the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve? That's what they were all saying. I was like, fucking idiots. And he went up there and regurgitated the same talking points, and a lot of them aren't even accurate. He just regurgitates them, dude. It's so frustrating because like, it's just frustrating, dude. Like, I wish he could just like talk, bro. So people were talking about, they were valued at 40 billion, but then they started digging into the math of like what the XRP was valued in the escrow and stuff, and it was like, it comes out to a very low amount of what they would value the XRP. I think it came around to like, all right, so if they're sitting at 40 billion, they'd be sitting on their escrow at each XRP at a value of like 7 cents. That's what that guy said. I didn't care enough to go fact check it, but I was seeing a general consensus on like that valuation it seems pretty low considering they got all these things. But all that popped into my mind was when people are saying this, I was like, maybe all the escrow isn't theirs, so they can't count it in the valuation. Like, I wonder if that's in like the SEC hand, like the rules. I wonder if that's in there. If you got a lot of those optioned out, and you try and get a valuation, because then technically not yours, but you're holding on to them. So that'd be something worth looking into, I think. And also when he says the investment isn't just validation of Ripple's growth strategy and business built on the foundation of XRP. Yesterday at Swell, they picked up the frequency. It seems like they were very scared, even though Brad's out there defending it, that like, oh, Brad, we people on the internet say you guys have abandoned XRP, and then he's like, oh, how could I abandon it? But it does seem like you haven't heard them really utter the word XRP, XP Ledger, but yesterday they made it known. It was very weird to see them all of a sudden kind of like put an XRP at the forefront of every product they were kind of unveiling, like seeing them in the flow charts with RLUSD. RLUSD, I think, is their, I mean, obviously, like it is that the space has evolved to stablecoins. Like stablecoins are fucking important, dude. But it's like if you can take that top spot of that stablecoin, you got room to do a lot of shit. So I see like what needs to be done. Not to say I'm fucking smarter than Ripple, because I'm definitely fucking not, dude. Kidding me? Brad could be my uncle. Look at this guy. So yeah, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer, bro. I still, yet again, you guys know me. I mean, not really. I've been doing this YouTube shit for like 12 days, but you know me. It's just I gotta call it like how I see it, you know. Like I still think XRP is gonna do well. It's done well for me in the past, done very well. So that's just saying you gotta call it like it is. You know, the space has changed a lot. Yeah, this was yesterday. They were hyping up him talking to Miami. It was literally nothing. But he said a couple of crypto lines in there that people were freaking out because the Bitcoin bros were going, oh, is he going to announce the strategic Bitcoin reserve? And then Trump's on stage and he says, what does he say? He's like, yeah, we're making America the crypto capital. The Bitcoin and crypto capital. That's that line he's sticking with. If you pay attention to how he talks, that's what a lot of them in government, that's their tune. And you got to go, why? That's why do you got to make sure everyone knows Bitcoin's in a category of its own, only Bitcoin? It's very interesting. And the conspiracy stuff, oh, this is making my brain hurt already. I've been seeing a couple of things. I don't know if I mentioned this guy, Bearable Guy, in one of the last videos. There is this account who, if I did, sorry. There's an account of a cartoon bear, and he popped up around like 2017, 2018, and he posts these incredibly cryptic messages, art pieces that are very scary, like ciphers almost, like a Zodiac cipher, but it's image. And it relates to XRP or key XRP things, and then the account posts on Reddit once in a while, but he posts and he dips. Post, dips. And then everyone's like, what the fuck does the image mean? Oh my god, look at some of this shit. Yeah, so one of the dudes from Easy A posted a video showing around Ripple Swell, and there's this shipping container thing, and everyone was like, that is kind of weird. And at first, I thought it was weird too. I was like, that's kind of out of place. And people started digging, and then they saw this photo first popped up in an original tweet that David Schwartz had replied to back here, and then the price skyrocketed in that November. So, and these are some of the images of this guy. Shipping containers, ledgers, trade. Yeah, these guys really go deep with this. I'm not more so in their camp. Apparently, this is a photo from Bearable Guy. I don't have a source on that, but this color scheme pops up everywhere in Bearable Guy lore. This green, this like magenta purple, and this yellow. So it begins. And then Trump tweeted a very random cryptic thing early in the morning or late last night, like a day ago, and just wrote this. And so it begins. So people are like, what the hell? Like, there's a Bearable Guy thing that says that. So everyone was like, oh, was this the market reversal? Is XRP going to be the chosen one by then? Paul Barron with the Bull Post update. Ripple just secured $500 million at a $40 billion valuation from Citadel Securities, Fortress, and Pantera Capital. Why this matters for XRP. Ripple Prime now offers collateralized lending for XRP. 95 plus billion in payment volume using XRP. Big time move. 60 million daily transactions through institutional infrastructure. Hold my beer. Fortune 500 companies exploring XRP for treasury options. This is the secret weapon for adoption. Get in line. XRP is the foundation. That's what's going to make the price fucking soar. But yet again, their approach with Evernorth is kind of like, we don't need a billion different XRP treasury companies. Like, there's just a bunch of bullshit. You got to keep track of all these guys. Like, we'd rather have few, but have them be good quality. That's what Evernorth is trying to strive to be, I guess. Like, because they said they're even going to tap into eventually DeFi and a lot. Like, I would buy that stock. I don't know if you buy the stock now because I don't think the merger goes into place until Q1 2026. But they just changed the ticker, so it's all a little all over the place for me. What was Brad saying? Brad says it best. Ripple's long-term vision is crystal clear.
Changed. Ripple has, I think, in a happy way, always focused on a particular segment, and that is really on the infrastructure side. There are temptations that we have had along the way of entering other segments. Some interesting consumer applications that I've found interesting. And frankly,
Bradley.
look, the exchanges have done well.
Sorry.
Coinbase has done well. Kraken's done well. Binance has done well.
Shit out.
We have resisted the temptation to kind of move into some of those segments to stay.
Brad, move into them. Box them out, Brad.
Blockchain infrastructure for businesses, for financial institutions. I will say, there's a whole bunch of things we've done that I'm very excited about, but I think, again, people underappreciate how consequential acquisitions like Hidden Road, which is now Ripple Prime. Yeah, these guys cleared $3 trillion of transactions last year.
Yeah, they did.
Think about how.
Yeah, they did.
Where some in crypto, I think, are looking at, I'm going to buy other crypto companies. If you look at Ripple's behavior, we're actually saying,
where's the money?
Well, we want to be the bridge between traditional finance and the decentralized finance world. So we're the decentralized finance piece. We're going to acquire things that are traditional finance. Hidden Road was kind of 80% non-crypto related. Treasury is 100% non-crypto related, processing trillions of dollars of payment transactions. And so the opportunity to bring, over 1,000 corporate treasurer offices, managing hundreds of billions of dollars of, dormant cash, and thinking about how you apply that with stable coins. I think I'm incredibly excited by where we have found ourselves in that journey, and I think next year I will say I think we'll be much less acquisitive. We've been busy this year on the M&A front, and I think it's kind of like, okay, we got some crazy work to do to integrate and to demonstrate the strategy that we see as I just kind of articulated, and okay, let's weave these pieces together.
Weave them together. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Ripple is going to be. I think Ripple is the only hope, obviously, because the on-chain data, like no one else is going to adopt their own thing. It's too late in the game, dude. They're either going to build their own or fucking I don't know.
James,
okay, China
Ripple has, I think,
Stop, Brad. I'm pretty good at detecting bullshit. I'm not just patting myself on the back. I feel like I can definitely read that, at least for the most part, on people. So, yet again, you just compare someone like him, and when you see him talk and stuff compared to a Saylor or a Tom Lee, yeah, whatever. You could be a little awkward in public or whatever, but it's they seem like actors almost. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even trying to be rude or whatever, but it's you could just sniff it on these people. And yet again, Brad's a billionaire, so God knows what he says behind. I don't know, but from these appearances, he seems like he's just kind of keeping it real, just shooting you straight, I don't know, it's much easier to tell for me. Trump has said the U.S. government shutdown is now affecting the stock market. Do not expect it to end soon. I feel like since then, literally yesterday, there's been 10 different developments on that. This cracked me up, dude. This really did. World Liberty Financial. As part of our mission to drive, I'm already laughing, a mission to drive USD1 adoption on Solana, we're rebuilding the ecosystem with our official partners, Bonk, Fun, and Radium. Actions. Words, we've acquired some $1 as the leading USD1 community on Solana for our strategic reserve. This is just the first step toward making USD1 the home for Solana traders and creators. Hey, they know what they're going after. Hey, that's their business strategy. They're not necessarily... Yeah, I mean... that's interesting. So, just based on this in Solana, it seems like the U.S. government's got a part of Solana. Either captive in their back pocket or, internally they're on the same page. That's what it seems like. But also on the same point, World Liberty Financial, they could just, do what they want. And if you're... I don't know, if you're Solana... You're not really going to go against the president's entity, It's just they have a lot of connections back and forth. It's just Bonk. What the fuck is Bonk Fun? What a joke. Launch your memes on Bonk Fun. Radium, an on-chain order book AMM powering evolution to DeFi. All right, Radium might be legit. I don't know what that is, but this fucking Bonk thing, what the hell are you even associating with this shit? What the fuck is this, dude? What is this, man? This is the president's fucking... it's just, it doesn't help your appearance. Maybe there is a shit ton of money to be there, that degen shit, but that's wild. XRP perpetual trading just landed in the EU. Go long, short on XRP with up to 100% leverage with no expiry. Yeah, Gemini's definitely cozied up to Brad and team in the not so recent future or past, I guess. Yeah, they've been cozying up to them. The XRP card, it's like, bro, it's easy to make money. Like if you partner up with like the adults in the room, you could do good. I don't know who this guy is, but I already don't like the sight of him. You really can't sleep on Ripple. Chris Perkins, managing partner at Coin Fund on Unchained Pod. I have no idea what either of that is. What is he? God himself? What is this? Coin Fund. Okay, they got 37 followers. 37,000. Unchained. Global crypto news and podcast. Okay, then let me fucking...
we also have Ripple Swell coming to New York City, which is their conference. And
or is he pro-Ripple?
It's I think maybe in certain cases I'm contrarian. And I'm not telling you to buy the token or not buy the token. Do your research. I don't care.
Yeah, don't tell me nothing.
But the point that I was making is that you really can't sleep on Ripple.
There you go. Yeah.
They have, close to $130 billion in market cap. They're very much on the offense right now. They're looking at... They just did a strategic investment in Bitnomial. They're looking to distribute RLUSD, which is their stablecoin. Austin, I'm sure you have a lot of thoughts on that.
Bitnomial up the ass.
I've known those guys going back maybe 7-8 years. I forget when they first started at Newmark Ash. And so they've created this ecosystem now that could be formidable if they execute. I don't know if they're going to execute or not, but I'm really curious. I want to go down.
Damn sure looks like it, at least from where we're sitting right now.
They have a ton of capital.
Which is pretty close to the ground.
Let's just put it in perspective. If they're at around 130 billion, market cap of CME, around 90 last time I checked.
Motherfucker, they're going to own the CME.
ICE, Intercontinental Exchange, around 90. And so I just see it as a very formidable, organization and institution. And I want to see if they're going to execute with that capital.
Is he kissing their toes?
That's my point.
Yeah, I will say I personally...
Whoa, what the fuck? These dudes are giving me advice. What the hell is going on here? Yo, he looks like the potion teacher from Harry Potter.
Ripple in the past as capital in search of customers in some ways, and that ultimately becomes the question here.
Dude, he's the guy. He's that guy. Wait, he's that guy. Bottom right.
Which is, where does distribution come from? Chris, to your point on the stablecoin, fundamentally, if you're looking at stablecoins that have succeeded over time, distribution has almost always been the winning thing. I know I've said this before, but all of the guys who have gotten above 20 billion durably have been attached to an exchange. So for me with Ripple, the question is, where are they going to drive that distribution? How are they going to drive that distribution? I think, as you've said, they're taking more of a portfolio approach. And to some extent, I would say B2B more than B2C at times in the signals that they're giving out. I'm interested to see if it happens. I actually, in a weird way, think the biggest question is how much of the value accrues to the token versus elsewhere in the case of Ripple.
Hey, that's a fair point.
So
but I think our bet is the token is going to go up.
Definitely not investment advice there, but it's a fascinating
100%.
I feel like they're just kind of skating around that. I don't know. I do think the token's going to go absolutely bread and butter, but that's just me. Justin, President says the U.S. economy is booming and costs are down. All right, I have no idea what costs are down. I mean, gas was like a couple of cents less. That's about it. We just removed trading fees on Ripple's RLUSD USD to make it more accessible for anyone to swap and hold. Try using RLUSD today. So that means these guys cozied up big time. What's this? 22nd. Ripple. Brad Garlinghouse announced the $500 million investment. This is a good clip.
Earlier this morning, Ripple announced a $500 million investment from led by Fortress and Citadel, some of the biggest names in finance. And so, although we're not talking about that today, at least I wanted to acknowledge that so that people are aware that we're not just ignoring it.
Yeah, how could you not acknowledge that? That's huge. Brad, you can give yourself a pat on the back, dude. I'm over here talking shit. Brad's over there building the internet of value.
A $500 million investment from led by Fortress and Citadel, some of the biggest names.
That's weird. It kind of gives me Steve Jobs vibes. with this look going on back in Steve when he was in his turtleneck era and he had his glasses and his like little shave and
finance. And so, although we're not talking,
yo, was Brad Steve Jobs reincarnated? That's a theory. Amina Bank plus Ripple Mika license. What are we talking about here? It's a fucking 2.5 hour video. What the hell? What are you talking about? Yes. Okay, this is what was interesting, bro. Like I said, Trump tweeted that cryptic message 11/4 at 8:30 p.m. So a decently late tweet. This is a bear guy. One of the cryptic messages he posts. Okay. Green, yellow, purple. Peaks. Something high. So it begins. We're going higher? I don't know. You decrypt the message how you think. Look what the Ripple swell thing is. Look at that. It's not even showing. There's the purple right there if you can't see it because of the color. But it rotates around these things like it's a drone shot. I'm not saying nothing. The bear laughs. After so long, the realization is hitting them that the momentum behind Ripple and XRP will not end. The king and his cohorts got the message. Kindly step aside. Holy fuck, he hasn't posted in Reddit since XRP was 50 cents. Wait, are you kidding me? Wait, this is recent? Whoa, is that fucking true? Yo, we gotta go deeper into this. This is crazy. If he hasn't tweeted since it was 50 cents, what the fuck? What did he tweet at 50 cents? I gotta go find this Reddit page. This is crazy. Holy shit, dude. Yeah. Whoa, this is getting crazy. I'm getting goosebumps. This is literally like some fucking... Whoa, what is this? This rabbit hole is crazy. 2 years ago, he posted this picture. So that's what I mean. He posts these same kind of overarching themes of like the king. And yeah, at least me, I don't necessarily know what anything represents. And I don't think anyone does either. Hello, friends. As I've said before, Bearable Guy 123 is a jester and not a financial advisor. Consult with a financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Did you come for the ride to witness the shaking of the cryptosphere as foretold? Oh, this is a long fucking thing. What is this? Yeah, he posts this one, and yet again, the sails of the pirates and that same color scheme, the So It Begins color scheme. Dude, he posted this 4 years ago. Look at this. And then the rocket, the star, the king's out there. There's a lot of deep things going on. So he's a jester. Yeah, there you go. On the pirate ship. This was 6 years ago. What the fuck, bro? Dude, so 2 years ago, they're in the greenhouse. A year after that, we saw him on the fucking pirate ship. They were converging somewhere. They're on the road. The castle's right down there. The castle's waving the flag. That building people were pointing to seems to be this building. And now that I'm seeing that building, is that the castle? I think that's the castle. Yeah. So there's the castle, the greenhouse, and we're rolling up. I don't know. I think that's the king. He has his crown, and they're rolling up. They're rolling up. That's why when Trump said, I don't know, some speech or whatever, he's like, cowboy and whatever, and someone was like, oh my God, he's a cowboy here, what it looks like. Or the Sheriff Rick. So this dude has been posting cryptic messages for almost fucking 8 years. So he goes, the bear. The bear laughs. After so long, the realization is hitting them that the momentum behind Ripple and XRP will not end. The king and his cohorts got the message. Kindly step aside. Whoa. Because with that pirate picture, people were pointing to when everyone was like, so the government's not going to acquire crypto in tax-free ways, basically. So how the hell are they going to get it? It seems just kind of bullshit. They said they're going to have the stockpile. They're going to have the strategic Bitcoin reserve, but they're not going to be buying it. So how is that going to work? Or did we just get duped? I think partly we got duped a little bit, but then things started heating up about this guy on stage somewhere, and he was talking about this old kind of rule, basically that the government can steal back stolen property or steal back its own stolen property. I'm sure they're going to steal whoever's they want, if we're being honest. But so then they were like, well, that's kind of like pirates, dude. That's like Pirate of the Caribbean shit. Like stealing back what's yours. Or just stealing. Hey, yo, they're stealing. So people started pointing to that. And then shortly after that, a big news headline had hit about Bitcoin, the government acquiring Bitcoin in the largest, taking of it back that has occurred. And it was in the billions from this like pig slaughtering ring or slaughtering ring. Something crazy, dude. And the fact that they had that much Bitcoin, if it's true. But they did acquire that Bitcoin. So could that be the pirate? You got to decipher this shit. So he's saying the king and his cohorts got the message that they're not stopping this. So kindly step aside. That was 7 days ago. So he could just he could have placed his bet like I did long ago. And with some cryptic enough stuff, you can craft the narrative, and be like, no, it means that, it means that. But honestly, that was weird. The So It Begins colors. Coordinating with the Ripple Swell thing they're showing the towers, and it's those colors that I thought was all right, that is a little coincidental, not coincidental. That was weird. Oh my god, this guy is everywhere bitching and moaning, dude. Always. He's a Chainlink guy, which, dude, I think Chainlink's gonna kill it, but he's always he's definitely engagement farming. You can't sleep on Ripple. Proceeds to talk about all the things Ripple is doing that don't benefit XRP holders. Adds an XRP ticker at the end for funsies to confuse XRP holders to falsely equate their meme token as having something to do with Ripple. I mean, but he said, this guy always says these things, but we literally just witnessed Ripple Swell, and they were mentioning XRP every 5 seconds that they're building on that. That's their chain. That's what they're using for their products and shit to facilitate all this. They're telling you the partnership's literally built on the XRPL. So anything running on the XRPL benefits XRP. So I don't know. At a certain point, I think he's just engagement farming. He does bring up valid points every now and again. But then other times it's I don't know. He's just freaking out for the sake of freaking out. If he actually is. I don't know. Wow, he hadn't posted since it was 50 cents. Wow, that's either really... I love that type of shit. That's awesome. And then the 3, 2, 1 they posted on day 2. But yet again, that could, look, this is what I'm talking about, the peaks. I love this type of shit, dude. All right, this is where... Look at that. That's eerily similar. They put the 3, 2, 1. Look at that. Wait, where is it? These motherfuckers just posted 3, 2, 1 in the peaks. They're labeled. I don't know which one is 3, 2, 1, but it says 3, 2, 1 at the top of the peaks. That was weird. And the So It Begins, and what the fuck? It's all coordinated. That's a coincidence. That's a crazy coincidence. That really is, which is weird. Patrick J. Witt tells Brad that we'll see market structure by end of the year. Yeah, I hope so,
Predictions for the industry.
I think as far as the market structure bill goes, we are maintaining, before the end of the year, the president wants that piece of legislation on
Can we get it done fucking now?
his desk,
How long?
So we're continuing to apply pressure, having regular meetings. I spend most of my time on Capitol Hill these days, meeting with senators from both sides of the aisle to get that done. I'm optimistic that we've seen enough progress recently to where the trend line is moving in the right direction, and I think we're going to get a good piece of legislation done and over to the president for signature in short order.
We heard it here. By the end of the year, we're in.
There you go.
Prediction.
I don't know. I've been saying this. I never underestimate their ability to screw us, man. Never. Because and then you look at something like Schwab, $7 trillion. They're coming in, they said they're going to implement their spot trading platform or spot trading into their service, whatever, in the first half of 2026. So when you got those behemoths, I don't know. You got to just think, would they have enough pull? Because I don't think they'd want to launch that after they already had blown the price up, Or maybe you could, because that would be the way to lure in all the retail. If you pump the market and you time it right, and then it's at euphoria. That's why maybe it could be an extended cycle. Maybe it is. Because if the market was in this status and then they launched spot trading, I don't know how well it would do. I'm sure it would do really well. But as opposed to when things are popping, oh my God, Bitcoin just hit this, everyone would be pouring in. Guys, this party is going to continue over on in the Patreon. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, comment, join the Minutemen, the Patreon, linked in the description below. I got a bunch of exclusive videos over there, and right now, I got a bunch more stories we got to go through. Ripple Swell, there's so much stuff. Supports the channel, and I'll see you in the Patreon right now. Let's go.